Last time. As a team.
Okay, guys. Now we're going to do global replacements. Okay?
Let's see how to quickly select steno strokes to perform global replacements. In the Edit section of User Settings, you'll see the option Global After Scan. If there's a check in that box, here's what it does. When I scan to the next untranslate, Eclipse will automatically highlight one stroke of steno for globaling. If I need additional strokes for globaling, I could simply press Ctrl G as in global. Well, what if I scan to an untranslate and the steno that I need to add does not come after, but before the untranslate? Here's where the arrows come in handy. You can target steno that comes before your starting point or after it. Although you can use the mouse to point and click, keyboard commands are generally faster. Your keyboard's up-down arrows will add or subtract steno in front of your starting point, while Control down or Control up will add or subtract steno after your starting point. Of course, you do not have to use automatic global after scan. I prefer to use hyperkeys that make it possible to select multiple steno strokes with one button. So here, instead of having to press Ctrl G 5 times, I can just use hyperkey 0 to catch the 5 strokes with one button.
That's what that means, global 4 strokes, global 5 strokes.
Yeah. Have we not covered that?
I don't think so, it seems new to me, but, yeah.
You said that that's already down.
Yeah.
You've seen that before?
Yeah.
Okay.
You did? No, I must have already zoned out.
I'm gonna play it again and then kind of stop and we'll talk about some of the stuff.
Let's see how to quickly select steno strokes to perform global replacements. In the Edit section of User Settings, you'll see the option Global After Scan. If there's a check in that box, here's what it does. When I scan to the next untranslate, Eclipse will automatically highlight one stroke of steno for globaling. If I need additional strokes for globaling, I could simply press Ctrl G as in global. Well, what if I scan to an untranslate and the steno that I need to add does not come after, but before the untranslate? Here's where the arrows come in handy. You can target steno that comes before your starting point or after it. Although you can use the mouse to point and click, keyboard commands are generally faster.
Okay, y'all understand what they're explaining there? Pretty basic, but anyone not understand? Say you're going through and you've already have this stroke defined as Mick, McDonald's, McPherson, McGoogle, I don't know, whatever. But you already know that your stroke for Mick as a prefix is already defined, okay? So, you know, you go through and you define Mick with the brackets, caret, puts it together. We gone over that already? I get a little bit confused because I kind of teach the advanced class too, so I'm not quite sure what we covered. So if this seems new, tell me so that I can explain it. Or don't tell me, I'll just keep going. So it already knows that your definition for Mick is already up there. Well, it doesn't know McPhurs. Okay? So it comes up as an untranslate. So you're going through all your untranslates. Well, you know what? It already knew Mick, but it came right here and put your cursor right here and highlights that part only. F-E-R-S, McPhurs, or first. Well, you need it all because his name is Mr. McPhurs or Louis McPhurs. So that's what they're telling you right there, is that with your these little arrows, you can global back and forth. So if you want to go forward, you can just do Control G. Control G just goes forward, and it globals forward. It doesn't global back. But if you need to global back, then you use the arrows and add the one stroke of MC. Make sense?
So, wait. Arrow.
Yeah.
What if you want to use
look
the
like this.
keyboard?
Huh?
What if you want to use the keyboard and go back and forward? Then what do you use?
Well, then you're going to have to press escape, arrow over to Mick.
No, I'm saying, he was saying something about where it says use mouse or use keyboard up and down.
Oh, your arrows.
So like the up arrow goes back and the down arrow goes forward, or is it
So the down arrow goes down, the up arrow goes up, and then the side to side. So you have these up and down, and then you have these side to side. So if you want to add a whole field of stuff, maybe it's a long field and it added it, it's 6 strokes. Well, it took up 2 lines, the end of one and then the beginning of the other. Then you can come down by using the down key. And then if it came down too much and did the whole line, then you just back up. Make sense? Slick? Everybody? Are you even awake over there?
Yeah.
All right. It's like a bullseye this morning. I'm just kidding. So that's what it's explaining right there. So you use the arrows up and down, or the arrows right left. Okay?
Your keyboard's up-down arrows will add or subtract steno in front of your starting point, while Control down or Control up will add or subtract steno after your starting point.
That makes sense? Control up, Control down, Control arrow over, adds to your field, or it's just Control G. Control G adds to it forward. It doesn't add back. Okay? So you have to make sure that it's already highlighted for these things to work. If not, then it's not going to work. Make sense?
Of course, you do not have to use automatic global after scan. I prefer to use hyperkeys that make it possible to select multiple steno strokes with one button.
We talked about this too. Y'all remember that? Alt 7 is 2, Alt 8 is 3, Alt 9 is 4, and Alt 0 is 5. Strokes. Not words, strokes. Okay? Or you can just keep doing Control G for as many as you need. Whatever. Whatever is quicker for you. If you're going to sit there and say, what's that one for 5? You could have done 20 words already. So that's why I'm telling you, practice these things so you know them. If it doesn't come quick, then do whatever you need to get it done quick. Okay? Time is money. So, you don't want to be sitting there and say, gee, what's 5? Control 0, no. Shift 0, no. When you have some time, then you can go back and do it. But if you need to do it real quick right then, just do what you need to do. Control G, whatever. Okay? But they're showing you these things for a reason. It's going to cut down your editing time, so mess with it. Mess with the stuff, And like even in class, on days that you're not testing, it's like, you know what, I want to go through and do an untranslate. Put it in hyperkeys, T. Oh yeah, just kind of mess around with it, a little bit. Because it's not going to mess anything up. Because it's not a test, it's not anything. So you always want to go into a field where you're just kind of messing around until you feel comfortable with it. Then you can start using it on your editing stuff when you're editing tests or whatever. Okay? It's only going to help you guys. It's only going to cut your editing time down. But, you know, inserting stuff all the time, it's not helping you. It's not. And we'll kind of come to, we'll do another lesson. I think it might be the next one, where the artificial intelligence of this software is only as smart as you make it. Okay? So the more you use it, the more it's going to remember what you're doing. Strokes, globals, stuff like that. If you're just pushing in and inserting all this stuff, you might as well just be typing a document. It doesn't remember anything that you type in. It doesn't. It remembers if you global it first, type it in, then. But if you're just using it as a word processor and just typing it in, it doesn't remember any of that stuff. None of it. So the more you use the software, the more it becomes familiar with the way that you write and what you're trying to do, and remembers what you're trying to do. Okay? So that's why I'm saying use it as much as you can, because it remembers. Not just in that one job, it remembers all the time. Okay? Make sense?
So here, instead of having to press Control G 5 times, I can just use Hyperkey 0 to catch the 5 strokes with one button.
Okay, what they're explaining right here is that you're not going to use anything more than globaling on this software. Globaling is the one function you're probably going to use the absolute most. You know, because you're one to put stuff in your dictionary, whether you put it in a trash dictionary, job dictionary, or your main dictionary, it's going somewhere. And you're having to global whatever you want to put in there. So global is really important. So, I mean, that's what they're kind of explaining right here. And, you know, what they're telling you right here is that it's only as smart as you've made it so far. Okay? So, the example that they're giving right here is Automagic remembers kind of what you do. Okay? So it remembers what strokes you do. Strokes you do, whether you need punctuation in a certain place. It starts guessing maybe what you might need. A byline, whatever. So Automagic is, you know, going to give you different options or whatever. Like right here, you know, the example that they're giving you is arthroscopic. Well, arthro, I guess they maybe it was arthroscopic. Arthroscopic. Yeah, because it was 4 strokes. So what they're showing you right here is the only one that it could really read was AR. Well, and it was like, well, are you pushing RA, AREA, or AR? So it gives you those examples right here. And maybe, you know, it doesn't know throw, which it should. So it should have given you another option here of maybe THRW, ROW, or THROUGH maybe, that you maybe were going to stroke through, or whatever. And then SCOP, maybe it couldn't read it. It didn't know. And then pick, you know, maybe it gives you another option down here of PICK, okay? Or PIC if you use it for the abbreviation for picture, okay? So, you know, it'll give you different options right here. They're just kind of giving you an example of what they were doing right here. Maybe it didn't read the other options, but it's telling you, you know what, that's what I think you might be wanting to stroke, arthroscopic. That's how kind of intelligent the software is. it kind of knows, and then it'll give you different examples. So it'll tell you, what it thought you were going to do and how many strokes it was going to take. How many strokes it took to get what it thought you were trying to put there. Make sense? All right. Okay, what it's explaining right here is that AutoMagic doesn't always know exactly what you're going to do. A lot of times it's pretty good at it, but it doesn't always know, especially like on proper names, stuff like that. It doesn't always know, so it kind of gives what it thinks you were wanting to write there in maybe English. It's in the dictionary, not proper names or whatever. So it's gonna kind of do that. And then if you need to, then you just push the hyper key G to stroke your global. But hyper key G, as I've told y'all before, only globals one stroke. You get that? Only globals one stroke. So say you want a global 2 strokes, you push G, G. Well, it globaled it, and then it puts a G already in there. So it's thinking you already want to start spelling, because it only globals one stroke. If you want to global more than one stroke in hyperkeys, it's the Alt whatever, or it's the Control G however many times. Okay? But in hyperkeys only know one function per letter. After that, then it's I want to do a function with that letter. After that, then it's I want to type in. So it doesn't know, keep going or whatever. On some of it, it does. Like the reverse translate, you push the R, it's going to bring up a box, then it gives you an option to do something else. But it's kind of the same thing with globaling. You push the G, it's ready to go. It thinks that you just wanted that one stroke, and you're going to start typing in the word. Okay, here they're just kind of explaining the AutoMagic keys of global and strokes.
Okay, it tells me here that, like for global 3 strokes, I press 8 in hyperkey, right?
Alt 8.
It doesn't say Alt 2, it says 8.
It's Alt. It's Alt.
It doesn't say that. So I'm in global.
Well, maybe yours is different. Maybe they made yours different.
I have yours.
Okay, get in hyperkeys and push 8, see what happens.
Okay, I'm in hyperkeys. I'm in a hyper. When you say get in hyperkeys, that means that it's flashing the big cursor.
Yeah.
And then you said go to 8. What?
I'm telling you, it's Alt 8. Because if not, 8 is going to give you on the magic keys. You're going to do whatever function number 8 is on the magic keys. So I'm telling you, the strokes is Alt. Whether it says it or not, it's Alt. Alt 7 is 2, Alt 8 is 3, Alt 9 is 4, and Alt 0 is 5. If not, then it's going to give you the magic keys and whatever function 8 is. Okay? Yes. No. Hold on. Hold on. Did you get it?
No, but I'll pretend I did for the sake of y'all going on.
No, I want to know that you got it.
Did everybody else get it?
Everybody else get it?
Hello? They didn't get it either.
Well,
They're just pretending like they did.
you got to speak up, McFly. Is that thing still on?
Yes. Got
Okay.
this.
Push Alt.
Did you get it?
No.
What? After class, I'll show you. We'll figure it out.
Where are you at?
Also, it's hard to give you the strokes.
That's weird.
Like if there's nothing there.
Do you have like flash
I
player?
got the same thing that you
Oh, I
got.
have
The
Adobe
Captain
Flash Player
Web page
and
blocked.
I tried to download it, but I have Adobe Flash Player.
Yeah, did you
How do you, no, it wouldn't let me download it. It said access blocked.
You need it for school.
After class, we'll figure it out. I'm not in a hurry to get it.
What's that?
I'm sure you, I don't know if you are, but we'll figure it out until you can get it. Because you're gonna be like hooked on it afterwards. You're not gonna want
I'm so excited for after school tomorrow.
Why was after school?
I'm gonna watch that movie webpage. I don't know.
That's what I'm watching on the airplane and all the way.
Well, if we're not in class tomorrow, I won't watch.
That's like my favorite thing to do is watch movies.
I know, me too.
I downloaded a
Once I
new
got
one.
to a certain age,
Graboid.
That's all I want to do.
yeah.
That one has much better
And it's like 100 and something, almost 200 movies. Go down to by the end, it says, you know, one or whatever, just scroll to each one.
Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna like.
See, I thought they were
And
done
then you
putting
pick up-
brand new movies on, like
No.
that were still in theaters, because they haven't.
It takes
They
a little
added,
time.
like, four.
On that site, you already knew about it?
Oh yeah, I've been watching it.
Yeah, I told her
Well,
about
It's the
it.
first time that I ever heard of it.
You guys, I was saying it in the
That's
lunch.
why I'm doing the
I never
airport
heard
all
you
day
say
on
Amy.
Friday.
Huh?
So that's why I'm doing the airport all day on
Yeah,
Friday.
me and Debbie and Jamie and
It's just us four.
no, it was somebody else. Oh, was it last semester that I said?
No, because it was only went to lunch before the semester started. It was you, Debbie.
And I watched all of them. I got to watch all before the Oscars came out, so I was like, oh, that movie did. That did this.
But anyways,
I need to watch the Oscars. Something
I meant to watch it, and then
Like, I didn't
somehow on
think that
Sunday I
Ted
just
movie
forgot
deserved
that it was
No,
long.
Ted. Stupid.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah. Movie.
Ted.
I love that movie.
It's funny.
funny.
I liked it when I was drinking.
funny
Like,
too.
You're not supposed to be watching that.
It's hilarious. We own it.
No, I didn't like it.
Do you need this? Do you need Java too?
You know what? Try Java. Just
I
try
had to
it.
turn it off halfway. It's like, I didn't even.
Oh, I finished it, but it was just like, oh my god. Anything with Mark and Mark, I'll
And
watch.
Furnace, that, what is that movie, that Out of Furnace?
Out of the Furnace?
Oh, I wanted to see that too.
Was it good?
That's on there. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Is
I
that
just
one
watched
Christian Bale?
Yeah, so.
I just watched one because I downloaded another website that lets me watch movies.
Yeah, which one did you?
Graboid. Oh, Graboid. But I downloaded it and I watched what is it? The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
Oh, how was that?
That was
I
actually
like that
really
movie.
good.
My husband said, yeah,
I
it was
liked
good.
it.
Who was that, Ben Stiller?
Yeah. I thought it was cute.
And hers on there too.
I downloaded the
one
book
that he's in love
too. I
with.
want to watch that one tonight.
Sex, what is it, Siri or whatever?
I want to watch it tonight. I downloaded
Oh,
it.
we're ready to have tissue right now. Have some tissue.
Just try any of those.
Okay, I'll watch that one tonight.
Did you do that? Before you do that, no, I've never done
I'm
those.
crying in front of everybody.
What?
Eyelid.
I watched the family. I'm not one of those. I don't know what that is, but
Is that good?
try it now. The back, I just think the back.
Yeah. I want to watch that.
Just because I like Robert De Niro.
Try which one?
Just
I like the
anyone.
daughter that's in that movie.
The family?
That's not the girl that
but then
comes out
it's
in V, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And
it
then
is.
Adra.
I don't pay attention
I
to the
love
side
her.
ones. Just try that. Okay, install. Just. Right.
It's working now.
Oh, is it?
Magic finger, let's have a magic finger. He's standing right next to me, and it'll work. And then he'll leave, and it'll work. And he'll think I'm crazy.
Well, and it may just, and it's software, guys. So I mean, sometimes it, kind of messes up or whatever. So sometimes you just need to get out of the job, get back in the job, and if it's doing crazy stuff.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Is this yours? I'm doing it.
Those behind you.
Okay.
Is it yours? Yours is back here.
Okay, what it's telling you right here is that when you're in HyperKeys and you push the Alt-8, it already knows Global 3 strokes. Opens up the box, it's ready to type. you're ready to go. You don't have to press anything else. You just start pressing whatever it is. Okay? But it shows you, we do Alt 8. It's going to show you right up here, Alt 8 did the 3 strokes. So it shows you what you're getting ready to define. Okay? It shows you what you globaled. So it's like, oh shoot, I needed just 2, but I thought it was Alt 8. Well, it's not, it's Alt 7. Oh, okay. Just close it. Alt 7 does 2. Okay? Make sense? It's doing it now? Yeah?
So the 2 would be the pre-trial conference, is that right? Well, you already said that when it was up there. I'm not sure if I'm following, but when you did Alt, what was it that you did? Alt 8? Was it?
Well, see, my
This 2-stroke. Alt 7.
this is my stroke for pre-trial conference.
Right.
We hear it every day.
Okay.
Every day. So I mean, I have it as 1 stroke. That's my brief for pre-trial conference. PRONS.
That's your 1 stroke.
Yeah. So it's like, oh, well, it's 2 words. You know, you pushed F7 or G. You know, press G right there. Well, it did 2 words. Why did it do 2 words? Because it's only 1 stroke. That's why. It doesn't matter.
You could write 18 words in there, right?
You can write 18 words in there, and I'm going to show you. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Right here. My stroke right there, nounce, nounce. A judge says it every time. Let's take announcements at this time.